What's up, everybody? We are back, episode 64. It's Mech-Hop Mondays. You know the deal.
Mech-Hop Mondays.
Robbie, Infinite. For those who don't know Infinite, who haven't seen our past streams, we've streamed with him a few times. But Robbie, you want to give them kind of a quick rundown, who you are, what kind of music you make, and blah, blah, blah.
My name is Robbie. I make music under the name Infinite. I've been very good homies with Scott and Colin for ever.
7,000 years.
7,000 years, yeah. So I'm excited to be back and get to kick it with the boys today.
Awesome, man. We're so excited to have you back.
Yes.
So we were just catching up, and Robbie was telling us about, I guess, his friend got kicked out of his show this weekend. So
I did, yeah. I played a show Saturday night at home in Calgary, and it was. Did you guys see like my story at all on Saturday? My Instagram story.
With a little bit, not.
With all the goggles, my homie got us like a limo. We had like 30 people in there with the club goggles and shit.
Oh my god!
Pretty fire. But I had one homie that I didn't realize by the time we had like got to the venue, he had already drank probably like enough alcohol to get like 7 people like blackout drunk. And I think he lasted like half hour into my set, and then some security guard like fully like threw him in a chokehold and like dragged him out of there. He was just
my god!
I don't know. I guess he was just like tearing shit up in the pit, trying to start fights with people with kids. So they were like, "That's it. You gotta go." And he didn't even remember getting kicked out.
That's too funny.
It's funnier, especially when it's your own shows too. It's like it's like almost your responsibility to like bring those friends and then like not have 31 drinks and then.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm glad the set went well. How did your grandpa think of the show?
It was interesting. He was like, told me afterwards. He was like, "It's not really my thing, but I thought it was really cool," and I was like, "Sick."
Did he say big up to those recoil IDs?
He did not. He didn't honestly know the recoil IDs. I gave him like a shout out at one point on the mic, and like he's so fucking deaf. Like I looked over, and he was just sitting there in his chair, like didn't hear a fucking word. My mom was like shaking him and shit. She's like, "Yo, do something, like put your hands up for some shit." And he was just like, "What the fuck?"
That's so good.
Can I just share this on Facebook real quick? Sorry.
Yo, I'm calling Grandpa on stage for the back-to-back, and he just can't even hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about pulling him up for like a family photo, but there's like a very realistic chance that he could like fall and die. So I was like, that's not safe. I'm not going to do that.
When your grandpa's too drunk to go back to back.
Yeah. Oh, classic, dude.
Your grandpa was low-key the friend that got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Okay.
So, Scott, what's been up with you lately? I know you said you've been a little under the weather there, but what have you been up to?
Yeah.
You producing like an absolute savage or what?
I was earlier this week, and then like this weekend I had like a bunch of like personal like stuff. Like I had my friend's birthday and like a graduation and like baptism. But aside from that, like for producing, I made a lot of progress on a bunch of house tunes randomly. Like I'm actually
nice
considering that side project.
The house track that you sent me, I was like, oh my god. Scott had it in him all along. That was so sick.
Well, I'm like, I almost like I've been kind of complaining about it because the sub bass in that tune is like probably the best I've ever made in this house. Like,
yeah,
after doing bass music, yeah.
I gotta show you a couple things I've been doing lately for sub bass. Like that's been in my opinion, it's been sounding pretty cool on my new so.
I impulsively decided to make a Railbreaker remix for sets. So
I was literally thinking about this thing.
So that happened this week. I've yet to send.
Nice.
I'll send you guys. I have to send you that.
Send it, fam.
Yeah.
I have never played Railbreaker.
Yeah,
Neither.
I never played the original, but
I've never played any variation of it or edit or anything.
actually I haven't either. I don't know why I said original.
Well, no disrespect to him, but it just didn't really fit in my set. But like, I wanted to make like a version of him or of his tune that would fit in my set. So
Yeah.
I mean, that vocal is lit. Every single person at every single show knows it. So I mean,
Oh my god, yeah, they're like fiending for it. Like every show, they're just waiting for their opportunity to scream it.
it's like what, like a year and a half old now too.
Yeah, something like that. And it
It's
still gets
still-
to play out at every show.
Oh,
did you
yeah.
guys see Mastodon's set where you like did the Sykes like from Rampage? It was like all my fucking headbangers break your fucking neck, bitch. And then it was like, nah, fuck that. And then it's like, psych, we're gonna drink to the morning. Drop it. Like it's like he had like 4 different like pre-drop lyrics. It was so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I've been like sent like it's like that I Nexus he makes edits called psych edits. I have like this like Prison Break like Lil Jon one where it actually just goes into like a Wasteland Paizo edit.
Oh,
It's really cool. Yeah.
oh my god.
Who was that Prison Break track with originally? That
Who's
Lil Jon
what?
track.
Hmm?
Who is that Prison Break track? Like the original.
I'm not sure. I actually have to check that. All I remember is because my record box is just like Prison Break Psych.
I just remember, like I hear that
Flosstradamus and
every
GTA.
single set, but I've never heard the song.
Flosstradamus and GTA made the original. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yo, I went to I had just kind of like gotten settled back in from Denver, and I realized that Kaiwachi and Midnight Tyrannosaurus and Yax and Chromatic were in town in Baltimore, so I ended up going there last minute. That was Saturday, I think.
That sounds sweet, man. That's like awesome lineup.
It was so much fun, dude. That was a really good time. And then at the end, we all got to do like 30-minute, 40-minute back-to-back.
Oh, lit.
Yeah, it was sick. There was Mortal Kombat in the green room and shit. we were going off.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
It was a really good time. I love those guys. Like they're all really, really nice guys. That was my first time meeting Chromatic. That was my first time meeting Kaiwachi in person. Like we've been friends for so long. But
oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's a big boy.
He's a beef castle, man.
Oh yeah. I would not be trying to fuck with that guy.
Yeah.
How was Denver? You played for Dom there, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was so much fun, dude. I love it out there. I love Denver and Colorado in general, and like the music scene just makes it that much better, you know. Dom's a great guy. He took really good care of us, and we ended up getting to go to Red Rocks while we were there.
I saw that on Sunday, right?
Yeah, it was Eptic, Sudden Death.
Yes, dude.
Uber,
He's right here.
All that shit. Yeah.
You see that shit on Twitter?
Wait, what?
You see the videos on Twitter of Eptic when he's like, yeah, we're supposed to have 15 minutes back to back, but Sudden Death missed his flight, and then he like turns around. And
he ran on stage.
He's right here.
Yeah.
Like Uber made like a quote tweet that was like, when you find Waldo, and it was just that looped. It was just him screaming. He's like,
That's so funny.
Yeah, that sounded like such a cool time too, because you had Longboy and like all those dudes you mentioned, and you got to chill with, like, I haven't met D-Trace yet, so that'd be really freaking cool. But yeah, like Colin went back to back with D-Trace, so
yeah,
cool.
D-Trace is so sick. I definitely want to make a track with him. We've been talking about it for a little bit, but just got to get my ass into shape and get something started for us, because he's definitely a killer right now, and I love his sound design and everything. That's my big thing. Like, the people I collab with, I want to collab with people with like unique sounds that we can try and find like an interesting way to fit ours together, you know?
yeah.
I live for that kind of shit.
That's really cool, yeah. That's like with my friend Dangles. Every time we work together, he's just such a, like, I mean, like, he's inspired me a lot over like 3 years that we've been, or 4 years we've been friends. But like when we first started trying to collab, we are like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? Like, like our sounds are so staggeringly different.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun challenge.
Yeah. You guys always make some cool stuff together.
Dude, we did a new mix sound for Warfare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you guys change on? Was there something in particular that you didn't like about it that you guys kind of went in on, or?
We actually, he added in some elements too, so it wasn't just a mix sound thing, but like the build was kind of lacking, and like the one thing we noticed was one of the synths in the B section of the drop was quieter than the other synths, and then the second drop, which was basically like harder trap kind of shit, was quieter than the dubstep drop. So we like beefed up the synth in that, and like, which is
kind of tough when you're going when you're doing like, I know it's not necessarily multi-genre, but when you kind of switch up the vibe, like, you have to think about how the mix down is going to react and everything. That's one of the fun and the difficult parts about engineering, is trying to level everything out so that it's cohesive, you know, while still like changing it up.
Yeah, and like one of the main synth in the trap drop is Synplant, so it's like,
oh really?
Really?
Yeah, it's much. Yeah, well, it sucks because like, well, I need to, obviously, like, I haven't bought it, but he owns it, so like I haven't been able to work on it because he's the one with Synplant. So that's why I haven't been able to mix it down on my own. Also, I'm still in like older FL, so it doesn't work. But yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to mix it down. Like, I gave it a lot more like low mids because it was kind of just a high end prioritized synth. So
that's what I've been focused on a lot lately with engineering too, is like, I still want to get it as loud as these people that are like smashing it. Obviously I'm not going to get it that loud, but all while like preserving that kind of low mid punch and everything.
Yeah, man.
My interest in hip hop is kind of where that comes from, because like, there's no like soft clipping the master in hip hop unless it's very creative, you know. It's not like just pushing that and then because you do lose a lot of low end, low mid through like really slamming the master. So I've been doing a lot of like the heavy lifting and the mix down lately, and like, I think it's been working out pretty well. It's been,
yeah, dude,
interesting.
Yeah, I really like the latest mixes you sent me. They're really great.
Thank you. I gotta send you stuff, Robbie. I gotta, because I've been reading a lot of shit right now.
You send me you send me shit like fairly often.
Yeah.
You also send me like 87 mixed downs of things too.
Yeah, I do. Because you and Scott are like the only people I trust enough to really like bounce mixed downs off of, honestly. Like, I don't know. You guys are like my closest friends in the scene, so.
I love both your guys' mixed down styles. I like how you both have like Robbie's mixed down is just so consistent. It is just
way too much sub.
It's just beautifully consistent though.
Big loud drums, big loud sub.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's how it slaps in a club, though. That's why your shit like makes sense, you know.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's
You can.
Good thing to hear. Your shit makes sense. Fuck yeah. I'll take
I'm
it.
gonna start commenting that on your tunes.
Damn, this makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, I don't know. The drop just makes sense to me.
That's perfect.
Very cool. Thanks.
Thanks.
I've been using. Sorry.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've been using your fucking your sticker as much as possible. Your like bit or your like Giphy or whatever. That's
Oh,
just your
the
face that
Instagram
says,
stickers? Hell
yeah, that's very cool, and it's just your face.
Yeah, those are my pride and joy, my sticker set.
Yeah, I've been memeing that a little bit too much. Just that like, thanks for the share, very cool.
Good. Oh man, that's the best.
Because it can either be used in a really sarcastic or like a real way. I love it.
I almost
You have
forgot
those
about Lil
samples,
Jon.
like on deck, ready to go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the share, Little John. Very cool.
When the remix hot.
I did a remix for Lil Jon recently.
What?
Yeah, it was that Lil Jon and Styles Incomplete and Bilo track, that Fuckboy song.
That's so sick.
The lyrics are super sick.
Yeah, I want to get on that hype. I want to collab with like some sick hip hop artists.
Oh man, I want Lil Jon on a track. That would be so sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've been like doing actual hip hop stuff, so hopefully, when that time comes, I'll be prepared. You know, like in terms of like vocal processing and stuff like that, which has also really helped like diving deeper into hip hop production and everything in my downtime has been like really, really productive in terms of like processing vocal samples and everything that I use in my tracks, which has been really nice. Like, I don't know.
I if there's like one thing I could choose to never have to do again in production, it would be mixing and processing and vocal. I fucking
It's a whole different art, man. It's like a whole different path of sound design, you know, like
yeah. It's one thing if you get like a vocal that is already like really good as is, and like the engineer recorded it, like did some processing on it and shit, but like getting an extremely like mediocre recorded and processed vocal and making it sound good is like I'll spend 3 weeks on that and then be like so unhappy with the final product and be like,
yeah.
Me too, man. That's so like fucking annoying. Like Splice has literally changed the game on that because I used to always use like rap acapellas that people like didn't get like the actual studio version. They just like
oh yeah,
I did, yeah.
song. And like I mean, it would be cool to like attempt to make that sound good, but like it was like so hard to make it sound professional. I never succeeded.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
Not one.
like
time. Like by the end of it, you're like, this took so much fucking longer.
yeah, it's cool though. Like honestly, learning how to process vocals and everything has like it's definitely changed my workflow on dubstep and everything too. Like I've been almost like treating my bass lines as like vocals because like that's kind of my whole like vision with like the mech hop style sound. Like I want it to sound hip hoppy. Like I'm trying to mix my own tracks like in a way that's hip hoppy but like still works in the EDM world. So like
Yeah,
it's
You've done a really good job though, man. So
thank you, dude. Yeah, it's been a long ass road, but like I feel like things are kind of coming together now because like I from learning the hip hop stuff, like processing my bass lines like a hip hop vocal, so it can sit with the drums kind of louder and everything because you're processing it like a vocal, you know, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's been kind of my work lately. not saying that I've perfected it by any means, but like that's kind of my end goal, and that's kind of how I've been treating things. Is like the mid range is basically I'm trying to get it sitting where like a rap vocal would sit in a hip hop track.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's hard finding like good reference mixes too, because like there's a lot of people I think who like even for like some really big name shit, where like the vocal just like does not sound like it's sitting right at all. Like
Yeah,
it's
Mhm.
hard to find like mixes where the vocals like not too far forward and like taking up everything, but I don't know if that makes any
See,
sense.
my ear has kind of been tainted because I went through like I still do listen to this style of music, but like the last like I don't know, like let's say like 2 years ago, I used to listen to like kind of like trappy weird stuff like Montel 2099 and like Oshi's stuff and uh like I don't know, this is basically just like kind of SoundCloud trap weird shit, but like they would mix their vocals like so interestingly. Like some of the time it would be like panning with in the background, and you'd have like different like vocals, like they were using them as like instruments, but like sometimes they'd even have a rap acapella that would be like kind of quiet over
yeah,
the top, and I'd be like, that actually kind of sounds cool
yeah.
because it's not the focus of the song, but
Yeah,
like.
and it's interesting how like to think about how people pull that off, because like a lot of people view compression as like just a tool to get things louder, but you can use compression as a tool to tuck things back and not have them like swallowed, you know, like
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
it's super interesting like when you get down and dirty with engineering. And that's why like I continue to like study engineering, is because you can use it in such a creative way. So like to me, like engineering is another step in the sound design process, and I'm a sucker for sound design. Like I love making sounds, you know, like I love
Mhm.
bringing out what I like in a sound and getting rid of what I don't like and everything. And to add on what you were saying, Robbie, like it's hard to find a good reference track. Like that is another thing, is that mixing is subjective at the end of the day. Like just like the whole music creation process. So like you got to figure out how you like to hear things engineered and kind of try and figure out how to get there, which is like part of the fun of it.
Mhm. It's cool how like you find processes to like just like over all the years that like suit you best
Yeah,
and
yeah,
can
totally.
make
And
sense.
it's gonna depend on like what you're doing inside the synth, what you're doing outside of the synth, and what drum samples you're selecting from the start, and like the level of intensity, if it's working out, if it's not, and like how to make it more intense or how to make it less intense and stuff. But it's a
Right.
fun, it's a fun little dance.
It's funny too because sometimes like I actually like made a bold move with that like Railbreaker remix, and I went back and I took like older synths from like a project in 2015 that I really liked, but I remembered the mixdown being like awful. So like I like went and took the synths and like remixed down the synths and like changed them up a bit, but like it was just like I thought about it. I'm like, what was like a really good idea that I had before that I didn't have the skill set to actually execute like to
uh,
its full potential. So that was a pretty funny process. I did that with incoming actually because I accidentally found a project that was well, like accidentally found as in I didn't know what the project fucking was, and like it was just stems that I sent for that Cena dub uh meme track, and like in the switch up you'll hear a very similar synth that I used in that Cena dub tune, and like it was just sitting there on the project, kind of like how you. I don't know if I'm sure you guys have done this, but like when you just send like one shots of synths, but like I used to not send them separately. Like I sent it was like a long just audio track of just different like one shot synths,
uh,
and I just found it in a project. And I'm like, fuck, some of these are actually really cool. Why did I only use them in a meme track.
Uh-huh.
So like,
Yeah.
which people couldn't even tell it was like me in the switch up or in the main part or whatever. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a super like useful way to do things, like going into like even old remixes or bootlegs or something that you did, and like obviously like remixes and stuff aren't going to get the same kind of attention that original tracks do, so you have like an opportunity to kind of like reuse some of that stuff and try and make it better and all that. It's all fun stuff, people.
very cool.
Fun stuff.
A bunch of fun. Let me pull up the group here. Let's see if we have any questions. For those who don't know, you can get in our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Mech-Hop Militia. And in there, you guys can post comments on the stream, what you liked, what you didn't like, what kind of questions you have for us that you want us to answer in our streams. You can do that all here on the live chat as well. But I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the chat here for you guys, just to make sure that you can stay up to date with all this stuff. Whoops.
Cool.
And I messed it up.
There it is. Wow.
There we go.
Lost my vape at my show on Saturday. Pretty choked.
You said what?
Lost my vape at my show on Saturday. I'm pretty upset.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah, no class.
Now your Nick level's way too low.
Bro, my Nick level in the vape is literally 0. I have it just for clouds.
Oh really?
Yes.
That's some clout right there. That's some next level clout.
Oh, dude, of course.
Yeah, when I was finishing up my collab after like 3 years of working on it with Sean, like him and my friend Nick fucking smoke vapes, and like whenever we'd say something stupid or something, I'd be like, that wasn't very like high Nick level of you, dude. Like that was very low Nick level.
Yeah, I'm at 0 Nick, gang.
0 Nick game. That's good, man.
Can't be messing my body up with nicotine, fellas. No way. No way. No Nick.
Not a chance.
Now
I'm literally only if a friend has it there, Nick gang. But I won't smoke a cigarette ever. But it's just like, oh, bro, I'll hit your jewel. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. I hit 5 jewels once, all at the same time. Like, just shoved them all in my mouth.
Man almost killed to death by Joel pods.
Jewel overdose.
You smoke cron? No, not really.
Not really.
Pac-Man's in the chat. Not real. I mean, I don't like buy nugs and smoke. I'll like if homie has them or whatever, something like that. But I'm not like a smoker, I guess.
Yeah. I dabble, I guess you could say.
In 2019, we smoking crack.
Crack in 2019. Unreal.
I haven't been as much as I like to, but like, there's no reason for me to smoke a bunch of weed when I'm being creative. Like right now, like I've been really successful with my producing, so like being on the lifestyle of smoking every day isn't a smart idea for me. But when I lack inspiration, it has helped me, or it's helped me focused. It's almost like I've never like gone checked if I have like an attention like disorder of any kind, but I do have a very low attention span. So if I'm being unfocused, sometimes smoking has like help, or maybe not even unfocused. It's ironic but lazy. Like it will get me off the Netflix couch or playing video games. I'll be like, wait, why am I wasting weed on Netflix when I can be producing? So it kind of like it's like a supplement in that way. That's how I used to use it, but like lately I've been so creative and had no intent of like stopping. So
Right.
not saying to be like I'm being reliant on a substance like that is really not the best, but like it has helped me get through a writer's block before. Coffee is just my guy though. That's my go-to.
Coffee number one.
Yeah, I definitely like fully have like a problem with coffee. Sure.
I can't drink too much coffee anymore because like I'm becoming an old man and I have acid reflux.
I don't even like the way coffee tastes. Like black coffee, like it's disgusting. But I have like at least an entire pot every single day.
Yeah.
Oh man, well
I
when I had
my coffee is just like I make it and I have to drink all of it, and then I'm like, okay, now I can do something.
Yeah.
I I've on that note though with the Nick levels, I only had dual pods once in my life, and that was when Max Uber was over for a week, and I was playing Detroit Become Human. I like smoked through 5 dual pods in like a week, and then told myself I had an issue, and like lost it because the decisions in the game were so like fucking what's the word I don't know, like mentally, I don't know. It made me like it'd be like save this girl, and I'd be like,
What game is this?
Detroit Become Human. It's like similar to the Telltale games. Honestly, like I think you guys would both really fucking love it. It's a PS4 exclusive. Basically, it's about if robots were made to look exactly the same as humans, and humanity and like in every way like they're pretty much humans, but humanity doesn't give them the ability to make their own decisions. Like you have to be commanded by humans, and basically robots gain emotion and break free of their bonds because there's something in their system that will detect like a really inhumane command kind of thing. So like they start breaking from their like chains, and you're one of the you play as 3 different characters, and like literally all your decisions matter, and it's cool because the 2 characters, your choices actually are in conflict because one is a detective robot guy that is like amazing, like he you can do like full investigations with him, he's designed for that, and then the other guy gains the power to free robots from being having to be commanded. So that guy, you decide to do either a violent or peaceful revolution against humans. And if you do a violent revolution, the other robot ends up investigating like your bodies that you leave behind and stuff. So it's like you're investigating yourself, and if it can even end up that they end up fighting at the end of the game, and it's like you make your own story because you decide who wins the fight.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That is.
The one thing though that I did the worst thing I've ever done in a video game just to like make my playthrough quicker was the game is actually insane. Like Telltale, it'll give you 2 choices, but if you like don't press any button, it'll be like the game will just run you over and it'll tell you to reload. In this game, like there's what you call it, so much cool stuff that like for example, he's running across the street, the cop, and if he gets hit by a car, then the next scene, the cop is like a new robot version of himself. They just like reinstated him like a new body, and like if you play like a fucking idiot that keeps getting killed while like chasing down people, like they like talk shit about you. They're like, can you like do anything right, kind of thing. But like when I did my playthrough, I did the worst thing ever because it's actually like a really terrible scene. Like there's like an abusive father that like does like this fictional drug, and he like goes to like abuse his daughter, and you're like the robot maid woman, and like how she actually breaks free of her slavery is she realizes what he's doing is wrong, and you have to break through that to save her, and then you escape with her. And you actually have the option of just not breaking free of your bond, and then he ends up killing both his daughter and you, and then you don't have to play as those characters through the entire playthrough. So
Wow.
all I did was the detective and the fucking revolution guy. But that the reason why I did that was like so I could do their playthroughs, their optional like paths. I'm trying to like platinum it, so yeah. Yeah, really interesting game. I highly recommend it. I like did a playthrough with my girlfriend that like because I played it at Matt Cod's and like it was so fucking funny because like I screwed up. I got caught when I was escaping the city, and like this is a spoiler, but like fuck, it doesn't. I refuse to let you guys do this. If you get caught while they're escaping the city, the cops actually just take you to like a robot concentration camp, and it's like the most fucked up thing I've seen. It's like literally parallels to like Nazi Germany. Like they
What is
make
this
you
shit
take
called again?
Detroit Become Human. They like make you take off your like clothes and shit. It's like legit like so. But Matt was like, "You fucked up. You have to live with your fuck up." Like I wanted to like I tried to go back to the main menu because I got caught, and I thought the game wouldn't let you actually get caught, but it does.
So wait, is there any like real time playing of the game, or it's just choices?
It's all pretty much like quick time kind of stuff, but they're quick time stuff that actually matters. Like if you fuck up, like in that case, it was like gameplay of sneaking by.
Uh-huh.
Like you're actually doing like a stealth section. Uh, but like there's also crime scenes where you're like investigating everything, and it reminds me a lot of the LA Noir games.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and you have gameplay as Marcus where there's a lot of puzzles in the game.
Puzzles, that's where you lose me. I can't do puzzles. Shit's hard.
They're very easy though. It'll actually be trial and error type puzzles. It'll be like you're trying to kill this drone and you can simulate it in your head. So you try path number 1 and in that path it shows you missing the drone when you attack it. So you have to go up higher, climb a different way or something. It's pretty easy, man.
Yo, I love like the choose your own games like that.
That is by far the best one I've ever played. Just because it's like the themes of the game are amazing. The fact that it like allows you to like uh um like fuck around, and the coolest part in the game, uh like I won't spoil the section, but you actually go and meet the creator of all the robots, like the inventor, like the Elon Musk at his house to try and investigate as to why they're going rampant and becoming humans. Like you literally go to the guy's house and like be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, no, that section's really cool because he's I don't know, he kind of looks like me though. He has the fucking uh man bun.
Sick. Scott's just in the game.
Oh yeah. The Robo God.
I played a game called Until Dawn. That's like you choose your own.
Have you played that?
Oh yeah, dude! I played it like a bunch of times. I've been trying to play it for like the last 3 weeks, but my people keep bailing on me. It's so much fun.
I haven't played it even though I own it yet. Like I picked it up pretty recently, but like
Dude, play it with Mo for sure. It's like a wicked like
yeah,
write off an entire like Saturday night and just like order food and play this game for like 7 hours. It's tight.
could you play it in a night? Because like I have been like trying to play it with my girlfriend. Like she really like we did Telltale The Walking Dead recently.
Oh,
So-
word, those are sick. I like this game a lot better than those, and I liked those a lot. But you can probably get through most of it in like.
Have you done Life is Strange? Sorry to like cut you off,
No,
but that
started playing that one. And
do you ever feel happy and just want to be depressed and play that?
I like didn't play it enough to get happy or depressed with it.
It was an amazing game and I'm glad I went through it. But like there's literally like a part in the game that's like, give your friend morphine or don't give your friend morphine because they're like dying, and I'm like, go to my mom and I'm like, this is so like, why the fuck am I playing this, Mom?
Give your friend morphine or what?
Yeah.
Good. That's a no-brainer. Obviously.
Amazing.
Why would you not? Why would you just look at them being in pain and shit?
Do they ask you not to?
It's like a okay, it's fuck. I assume you guys aren't gonna play it, but like, basically the game, you end up being able to prevent your friend's dad's death, best friend's dad's death, and how time actually punishes you for changing the timeline was your best friend ends up being in a car crash that paralyzes her from the head down. She's like can't do anything on her own, and like the game, like, she basically wants to die, so that's why you give her morphine. You give her like a higher dose of morphine, and then you actually have to jump back in the photo to make sure her dad doesn't find his keys, or does find his keys again, and gets in the car crash, so your best friend exists. It's just so fucked. That game is just so depressing. I could believe that shit.
That sounds hella.
All right, guys, we've got 15 minutes left, so it looks like we have 2 viewer submissions. So, you guys down to get into those?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Where do you find those, or do you find them?
You what?
Where do I go for these, or do you send them?
I'm just gonna play them over on my end because I have the sound routed, so it should output relatively decently.
That works.
First one is our repeat boy Coptic. This one's titled currently "It's Your Boy." He said it's some epic intro biz, so let's check it out.
Oh my god, it's Coptic.
Yeah, it's sounding really good so far. I like the mix down a lot. I love the airiness of like the cymbals in there and everything. It kind of lifts the track up. And I obviously like that bam 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 bam. I love those kind of like stuttered, chuggy almost kind of patterns, but really good work overall. Again, the sound design, I'm a huge fan of your sound design and everything. The intro sounds really good. I love that, like, I don't know if you would call it pizzicato or staccato string sound, but super, super dope.
I love the style on that one. It's cool. I would just call that dubstep if I was subgenring it. 'Cause
Yeah.
like it reminds me a lot of like I don't know, like squeaky bro step sounds that I really like. Like I'm thinking of there's an old Zeta tune that has similar sound design that I really enjoyed back in the day. So, but this is heavier, so that's sick as fuck. So good job.
Yeah. Robbie, you got any?
I like the sound design, the groove a lot too. It's like it was not like a boring bass line, but it was simple enough that it was like very easy to follow and do well on a floor probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a good groove to it.
Mm.
Very cool. So the next one I'll pull up in just a second. It
I
was
got somebody in the chat said they speed ran until dawn in under 6 hours.
Okay, yeah. I think yeah. If like I put away a day with an afternoon and like a night with my girlfriend, we could probably get through the full game then.
Yeah. Definitely don't like try to just like do it in one night to do it in one night. Like don't rush it, but it's super fun. I love it. It's so much fun.
I did play like an hour or so into it, but like I realized like either my sister or my girlfriend would probably want to watch, probably both of them.
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, I don't really like play games all that much, but games like that are more just like to me they're more of like a movie that you're like involved with because that one has like very very gameplay.
I would say Detroit Become Human's very similar, but runs a lot better. Like the graphics are much better in Detroit Become Human, and I noticed like the facial animations were like good in Until Dawn, but like Detroit Become Human, they're fucking nuts. Like just imagine a game like that you don't really have to focus on gameplay much, like
Yeah.
Until Dawn. So they like were able to mocap these people like they're exact actors. Like if you look up the actors, like one of the guys from Grey's Anatomy, and he's like the same fucking person in the game.
Oh, word. Okay, cool.
Mm.
Very cool. So the next submission comes from Canna Aaron Boot, who I believe is in the chat right now. I think I saw his name, but this one's called 2070 Paradigm Shift. So let's check it out.
Fucking dope.
That's tight.
Yeah, that is super dope. I love the intro on that one. The sound design is really, really like very intense, but not like overly distorted or anything. I think you found like a really good balance there. I think the track flows pretty well overall. I really like the ambiance you have on the drop and everything. Those like pan claps that you kind of have going on in the background, or I think it's like a clap or a snare reverb that you have on the delay panning. But really, really cool stuff. I'm really liking where this one's going.
That one was dummy thick.
Yeah.
I got different the intro was from the drop. I did not expect the drop to be heavy.
Right.
I thought it was just gonna be like that whole chill thing throughout the whole thing. So that was tight. That
Right.
caught me off guard, but not in like a this sounds like it should be a completely different track kind of way. It worked.
Yeah, I agree. Really, really cool stuff. Definitely keep sending us stuff. If you want to like submit anything else, this goes for everybody. You can just go ahead and shoot it in our Facebook group. Again, that's facebook.com/group/Mech-Hop Militia. And if we don't get back to you right in the group there, we'll definitely get to it on the following stream. So it is 5:54 now, so that means we have 5 minutes left. So it is time for some questions. Robbie, we're going to put the fire under your ass.
Let's go.
So the first question, as usual, is how do you start your tracks? What comes first for you?
That's like different every time. I don't have like a set in stone way of how I'll start something. I think usually, probably like more often than not, it'll start with I'll write like the A section of a drop. And then I'll go from there and make an intro and shit. That's probably just like organically how I do it most of the time. If I'm not winning with like making like a cool bass line or drop idea, then I usually just open like my template and I'll just make like between 3 and 5 projects of I'll just bring in new drum samples and like lay out like really nice sounding drums. That way I have like 5 projects ready to go. When I do get some ideas, I can just kind of open up and I already have like the drums set up nicely. There, but yeah, probably very rarely will I write an intro first. That almost never happens for me.
Right.
And if it does, it's because I got like a really impromptu like idea for a melody or something.
Yeah.
So I get it down and then I'll come back to it kind of thing. But
yeah, that's normally the same with me. But like I said on the last stream, lately I've been trying to start with intro. Well, I guess I kind of like had some ideas for intros for the first time in a while. You know, like it's not often that I'm like compelled to write out an intro before I am a drop, because normally when I sit down to write a track, I start making sounds and then I form them into a drop idea, and then once the drop is like kind of there, I'll go back and do like the intro / build up kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of just build it from there. But so cool, good to know you're a drop guy yourself.
First thing first, just the Little John sample. It's dropped on the FL Studio, and that's how I start all my tracks.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a Little John sample, eh?
The what?
Always. So the next question is, do you prefer to do most of your sound design within your synth or with like post-processing effects?
Oh, for me, it's like, yeah, in the synth, like 98%.
Yeah.
I do like very little to no processing outside of my synth. I'll throw like the OTT on it just to OTT it up a little bit and then EQ, but that like I use a little bit of Sugar Bites Wow, or I used to use a ton of that on whenever I was making basses in Massive. I made like a wow setting that just kind of really discreetly thickened it up a bit. So I use a little bit of that, but other than that, like little to no effects at all.
Oh, that's oh, excuse me. That's how I was for a long time too, but recently I found myself doing a bit more post. It's still like 90% in the synth, and then like
Yeah,
afterwards I'll do a lot of things in like parallel, like some compression or like maybe a little bit of saturation and everything.
yeah,
Even the saturation I've been doing in parallel lately, just because like I drive my sound so hard in the synth already. It's like it doesn't really need too much on the fully dry signal, you know. So like I'll do some like parallel processing if it needs intensity or something like that.
Yeah, once I
That's
realized I don't
awesome.
need the massive.
What do you say?
I'll say I know Scott does a lot of effects on a lot of his basses.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a lot of effector and shit like that in FL.
That's what I was gonna say is once I realized that my massive didn't need to be full volume, and still haven't realized that, but I didn't have to be clipping my massive and C-tubing everything. I've done a lot of it outside of it.
That was Colin's. That was Colin's like signature way of processing. I remember was the classic tube just like cranked to shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It worked.
Those were
Oh yeah, no, of course it worked. It sounded great.
the days, man. Didn't you say, Scott, that Elliot Mars told you that I did that?
Yeah, he exposed you when I was younger, so I started doing that. Literally.
Funny.
What was your guys' track? Triangulate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, banger, dude. Elliot Mars' shit was so good.
I know. His new stuff as sorcery is so sick too. Like,
Oh yeah, I
it's
mean,
definitely a different vibe, but like in terms of heavy bass music, like Elliot Morris was such a sick process. Like,
oh yeah, and it was so unique.
and everything.
His new one, or one of his new ones, Hope, like 5 months ago, I think it was. That one just like blew me the fuck away.
Yeah,
I was just like, right when I was starting to feel like I've like started to get a grasp on fullness of tracks, he fucking knocks it out of the park. That's his
yeah,
inspiration.
yeah. He's always been on another level. I feel like he's just like hyper intellectual music maker. Like, yeah,
He's
like
like,
he just understands it on such a
He's one of those people that's just too smart for their own good.
right.
It's like, yeah.
So sick.
We're just video game computer nerds. He's like fifth dimensional
See.
third eye.
I'm like it's before.
Third eye all the way open.
His newer shit like sounds like so organic that you would never it's like done on computers ever.
Yeah, super ethereal.
Yeah.
So the next question for you, Robbie, is there one track in particular that, like, looking back on, you feel like kind of established your sound, or was like an aha moment for you, like, this is what I want to do?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I don't know. I never really had like a one track, like pop off like way harder than all my other shit kind of thing. Like,
I'm just saying, like, in a personal sense, not necessarily something that people hyped up more than your other tracks, and that you kind of like took cue from them. Like, if you don't have one that personally struck you as like, this is my sound, that's totally fine too. But like, just on a personal level, like where you felt like this is what I want to do, you know?
yeah, I don't think I have like a specific track per se that did that for me. I just kind of think like,
It was a progression.
yeah, I mean like when I really decided that I wanted to like go for the music thing full time. That was in like November 2016. I think since I left my old job and I've just kind of like with all my shit, I've taken like a direction where I do think all my shit kind of does sound like me. Like it all sounds like it's one thing, and then the way I've just had like all my artwork and shit packaged and stuff like that. I think I don't know. I guess like just the last 2 years of how I've kind of done shit, I think has really I don't know. I guess it is like a my sound thing and shit. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. And then the last question is, what's one plugin that you use on every project that it's kind of like your business?
I mean OTT, but that's like a super generic one. I use one thing I use every project. I use the Isotope Ozone 4 visualizer. I use that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the older, like the EQ, the spectrum analyzer. I just like that one so much. So I always have that on my master, and I just kind of take screenshots of like other tracks I've done.
Uh-huh.
Like you can take a little screenshot of like the EQ spectrum of it, and then I'll just kind of compare it. I'll be like, yeah, I really like this old mix down of mine, and this is how the
That's
EQ
kind
on
of
that
smart.
one. I'll just kind of go off that just to get
I might
it.
have to try that.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's great. Spectral analyzing is great for just like learning and shit, but it's also you can get like hella obsessive with it too. Like if you throw in like a Zomboy track and you look at the way his EQ looks, and then if you just start obsessing, like, oh shit, okay, well, my track should like look like that, and then you just kind of start trying to cater like to that. It's not usually the best because you can throw in like 4 or 5 different tracks, all from like the best 5 producers, and they're all gonna have like something about each of them. Will be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like it's got a weird spike there that technically shouldn't sound good, but it does. So
Right.
yeah, it's a great thing, but like definitely not something you want to start obsessing over too much.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got to think like within the EQ and the overall like analysis of a track, there's also different processing that goes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Stuff, like if you have something that's very high end heavy, but like it's super compressed so you can tuck it back, like
Yeah, exactly.
that all makes a difference in the overall spectral analysis of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Once again, Robbie, thanks again for joining us.
Of course, dude.
Always a pleasure to catch up with you on these and kind of see what you've been up to. Any last words? Like, is there anything that people should kind of keep an eye out for coming soon from you? Or
I got 2 singles in, or one at the end of the month, 2 in July, and then hopefully this new EP will be out at the end of summer, but we'll see.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Scott, anything people should be keeping an eye out for you?
Not particularly right now, if I'm being honest, but I am sitting on like 20 unreleased almost now. I'm getting near there, so keep an eye out for EPs.
Yeah, you're building up like uplink release, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I am, and I've been just trying to decide that though, like, cause I have an array of labels I didn't even consider. Max said my stuff would fit really good on Subcarbon, some of the newer stuff. So I'm considering that. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
We will try and sort out the next guest very soon. So keep an eye out on the Facebook group there, or just on our social media as well. Announce it once we've locked somebody in. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. This is the 64th episode, so we're getting up there, people. I appreciate all the repeat names and everything, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Take it easy.
All right.
Love, man. You too.
Peace, guys.
Peace, boys.